Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Investing Explained. Here's today's question. So you've sold over 1,000 houses, flipped over 180 houses, and you have more than 25 rentals. Where do you think new investors should start? And as an agent, as a house flipper, or maybe a rental property investor, where should they begin?
This is kind of a contrary opinion to what is going on right now. But for most people, I tell them buy a house. And it doesn't even have to be an investment property. You know, there's this big push now to rent where you live, own, rental properties. But a lot of people don't have 20% down, right? When you're buying an investment property, it almost always takes 20% down unless you're, doing seller financing or partnering, which can be very difficult as a beginner. And one of the best ways to get into real estate is to buy as an owner occupant. You can put 3.5% down with FHA, 3% down with conventional, 0 with USDA or VA. You can get down payment assistance if you don't have a whole lot of money. And once you have that house, there's no reason you can't get a really good deal, just like an investor would. So like we're talking about HUD homes, HUD gives owner occupants priority to buy their houses before any investor. So does Fannie Mae, so does Chase, so does Bank of America, all these foreclosures. So there's not this, a lot of people have this notion, well, I'm an owner occupant, I can't get a good deal, an investor can. You can. Now you might not be able to buy that house that needs $100,000 in work and is gutted, but you can get that house that needs paint or carpet and still can qualify for a loan. HUD has an escrow program that'll finance, $5,000 of repairs or less. So you can go get that good deal, pay $100,000 for a house or, $500, depending on the market you're in, and walk into 10, 20, 30% equity right away. And then you have multiple routes. You usually have to live there a year as an owner occupant. So live there a year. After that year's up, you can rent it. You can start your portfolio with that rental property, move out, bought right in the beginning and figured your numbers right. You should be able to cash flow. You could live there 2 years, fix it up, sell it, and your profit's tax-free in most cases because of the capital gain, tax-free rule in the United States, which I think is the best tax rule ever made. And, there's such a huge advantage to buying as an owner occupant. You should not discount it. You can build equity. I bought my first rental because I bought a foreclosure as my personal house. A year later, refinanced it, took $50,000 more out than I had into it, used that money to buy my first rental property. And a lot of people say, oh, you lose all this money buying instead of renting. And they don't know how to buy the right way, in my opinion, when they say that. So buying a house to live in can be one of the best ways to start. And I'm also kind of against doing the work yourself on houses. I don't do any of it now. However, if you buy a house to live in, I think that can be one exception where it does make sense because you're there. If you're doing some work, you're still with your family. You're not, spending weeks at a different house. You're not under a time crunch to get this flip done in 6 weeks. So you can save a lot of money in that route too. So yes, being an agent can be great. Buying rentals can be great. Flipping houses can be great. But if you're just starting out, it doesn't hurt to buy a house and get a really good deal on it to live in as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I have a lot of people that reach out to me and ask what I think they should do for their strategy. And oftentimes I'll recommend something like a house hack or something along those lines. But if they have a family, a lot of times either their wife or husband isn't willing to do that. And so then I tell them exactly what you just said is buy a property exactly like you said. And I think the key there is you just need to make sure you run the numbers and that it'll make sense as a rental. I think that's the biggest thing. But it's definitely a good way to get started. That's all for this episode of Real Estate Investing Explained. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or subscribe to our YouTube channel to get even more free content.